Right now, the groundhogs have spoken. Will it be an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter? Also, some lawmakers renew calls for police reform after the death of Tyree Nichols, the uphill battle the proposed legislation still faces. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for joining us. Bitterly cold temperatures are on the way again, bringing with them wind chills well below zero. An alert day is in effect for later tonight and tomorrow morning. Let's head to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at your first warm forecast. Enjoy the warmth, I guess.
Yeah, well, the groundhog was right for at least one day here. It is going to be really bitterly cold here. The good news, it's not going to last long, but we are going to see wind chills get down to 30 below. We have a front kind of coming through today. Not dry front, but you can kind of barely see it on satellite right now, visible satellite. Just a few clouds, but then you can see the streamers up to the north that's coming across Lake Michigan. Good indication how cold air is going to be coming down. So it's going to be quick moving. Right there's your current temperatures from 9 below in Fargo all the way down to we're sitting around 25 to 27. That's really about as high as we're going to get right now because they're going to start falling here this afternoon. Bigger picture shows even that cold air further north. So that's the idea. Currently temperatures right now 27 in Massillon. You go up to La Crosse, are already at 20 degrees, 19. You're already starting to get the winds too up in that location too. As we zoom into around Dane County, generally mid to upper 20s right now, fairly actually close to average, not that far off, but the winds have started to turn around, and if you look further north, they've started to pick up. Even some blowing snow reported all the way up to Camp Douglas too, some of that snow blowing around with winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20. Those are the wind chills right now. Not bad over us. Gets a little bit colder to La Crosse, but then they drop way down as you get towards Minnesota and North Dakota right now. So if you look at the afternoon, evening, we're seeing our temperatures are going to fall down, not rise all the way down to the single digits probably by this evening. The wind chills will start dropping, but that's just the start. I'll time out how cold we'll get tomorrow, but how much the temperature is going to swing back the other way come this weekend a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Looking forward to it all. Thank you, Greg. And
Exactly.
Greg wasn't the only one predicting the weather today. Earlier, people from across the U.S. gathered to hear from multiple groundhogs on whether we'll have an early spring or longer winter. Here's Sun Prairie Jimmy's prediction from this morning.
I, Jimmy the Groundhog, have consulted the skies over Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and determined them to be sunny. So, I have seen my shadow. In consideration of this, I hereby proclaim that there will be 6 more weeks of winter.
They're booing a groundhog? All right, you heard it right here, folks. 6 more weeks of winter after Jimmy the Groundhog saw his shadow just after 7 this morning. This is the 75th anniversary for the Sun Prairie Groundhog prognostication. Over in Pennsylvania, Puxatawny Phil also saw his shadow. Now, lately, Phil doesn't have the best track record. According to the National Centers for Environmental Information, his predictions have only been right about 40% of the time over the past decade. Of course, scientifically, winter officially ends on March 20th. To Rock County now, where a sheriff says a woman died after being found unresponsive in a Rock County jail cell. The woman was found on the floor during a routine security check at about 1:15 this morning. Life-saving measures were reportedly attempted, but paramedics determined she had died. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow to determine a cause of death. Police are looking for 2 men who broke into a home posing as police officers. This happened on Indian Road in the town of Hustisford at 6:30 Saturday morning. The victim said the men forced their way into the home and claimed to be law enforcement looking for a homicide suspect. Then one suspect stayed with the victim. The others searched the home, asking where the valuables were. The duo drove off in a white pickup truck you see there. Information has not been released until now because of the incident, because the investigations are following up on some leads. If you have information, call the Dodge County Sheriff's Office. New developments in a deadly shooting in Iowa County. The suspect told deputies his gun accidentally went off when he was picking it up. Timothy Santik is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of firearms. The sheriff's office is keeping the name of the woman a secret because her family requested it. The shooting happened last week at Santik's home in the town of Wyoming. Police say Santik was kneeling next to the woman's body with his hands up. Deputies reported that he smelled of alcohol and showed signs of intoxication at the scene. Santik is set to make an initial court appearance sometime today. The death of Tyree Nichols and the arrest of 5 former Memphis police officers for his murder has put renewed pressure on the Biden administration to pass the stalled George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. Nicole D'Antonio reports from Capitol Hill.
At the National Prayer Breakfast Thursday, President Biden referenced Tyree Nichols and his family.
Justice is long overdue.
Wednesday in Memphis, Vice President Kamala Harris made an impassioned plea at Nichols' funeral for restarting negotiations on federal police reform. Congress started work on a bill after the death of George Floyd in police custody, but it's been stalled for a year and a half.
We demand that Congress pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Joe Biden will sign it.
The legislation aimed to, among other things, limit unnecessary use of force, restrict the use of no-knock warrants and chokeholds, and limit qualified immunity, which shields officers from many potential civil lawsuits. That last measure met resistance from Senate Republicans. The president and vice president are meeting this afternoon with the Congressional Black Caucus to figure out how to make progress on the bill. But with Republicans now controlling the House, the legislation faces a steep uphill climb.
I don't know that there's any law that can stop that evil that we saw.
With the Floyd bill stuck, President Biden signed an executive order on police reform for federal law enforcement last May, and more executive action may be on the table. But the White House concedes there is no substitute for federal legislation. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And the parents of Tyree Nichols will attend the President Biden's State of the Union address next week as guests of the Congressional Black Caucus. A federal judge in Wisconsin says that a wrongful death lawsuit against Kyle Rittenhouse can move forward. Rittenhouse shot two men in Kenosha during a 2020 protest. The father of Anthony Huber, one of the men shot, filed the wrongful death lawsuit in 2021. In the suit, he accused officers of allowing a dangerous situation that violated his son's constitutional rights and resulted in his death. The suit also says that law enforcement conspired with Rittenhouse to cause harm to protesters. Dates for the proceedings have not yet been set. Well, drivers, you may have noticed filling up your car with gas is getting to be more expensive. After hitting a record high last summer, gas prices dropped dramatically in the fall, but are now up again. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of unleaded has jumped 30 cents in the past month, and a lot of it has to do with a winter storm over the holidays.
You had this weather-related oil refinery issue that's gotten better, but it kind of set everything back. And that's why you had that pretty steady increase in prices.
Prices could go even higher because many refineries are about to shut down for annual maintenance. That will impact output just as demand for gas is about to go up. When more drivers are on the road, higher gas prices usually follow, and some analysts predict they'll climb another 25 to 50 cents a gallon by March. Well, don't forget to buy a Powerball ticket this week. The jackpot is now up to about $700 million. No one won last night's drawing. The next drawing is Saturday, and you could win one of the largest jackpots in the game's history. The cash option, which most winners choose, comes to around $375 million. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. The Biden administration is proposing a new plan that would curb credit card late fees. And Samsung unveils its latest smartphone next in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Surgenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
Oh, The weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
Do you feel stuck living in a cold and drafty home? Well, there's a better solution than just turning up the heat. Because heating your home is by far the most expensive part of your energy bills. At USA Insulation, we fix cold homes. Most houses are built with builder's grade insulation. So when we fill your walls with our high efficiency foam, your house stays warm without turning up the heat, which saves you a lot of money. So call now and save up to 30% with the brand new energy credit.
USA Insulation.
The central bank continued its fight against inflation Wednesday by raising a key interest rate for the 8th consecutive time. The Federal Reserve announced a smaller quarter-point hike to bring the benchmark rate to the highest level in more than 15 years. In a statement, the Fed signaled that even though inflation is easing, further rate hikes are likely. The Biden administration announced a new proposal to curb credit card late fees, which it says have cost U.S. consumers $12 billion each year. The new proposed rule would cap late fees at $8, though companies could charge more depending on the cost of collecting payment. The rule is subject to a 30-day public comment period before finalization. And Samsung has unveiled its latest Galaxy 23 smartphones, calling them their, quote, most sustainable ever. The company says the S23, S23 Plus, and S23 Ultra contain more recycled materials than any previously released Galaxy phone. They'll hit store shelves on February 17th, and the base model starts at just under $800. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Let's check stocks at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 152. The tech-heavy NASDAQ, though, up 354 points. The S&P 500 up 58. And coming up, we'll share your egg prices. Greg has your first warn weather. And then today on Live at 4, we visit a house in Boscobel made out of ties. Railroad ties, that is. It's today's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
Wisconsin, the Friends and Family Sale is going on now at Ashley. To thank you for your loyal support over the last 54 years, you pay what our friends and family pay and not a penny more. Find furniture up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 15% off our sale prices at checkout at Ashley.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease. Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
Alien tape is strong enough to hold this fishbowl on a moving car. Just peel and stick and make anything stay in place quick. A wooden shelf, a basket to glass, rugs to the floor, and so much more. Alien tape sticks to brick, pavers, marble, tile, plastic, even leather. Nothing works better. Alien tape secures in seconds, then twist, pull, and rinse to reuse. You're dying to try it. Here's your chance to buy it.
Call 1-800-490-1347 or go to tryalientape.com. That's 1-800-490-1347.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, Our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This is it, Wisconsin. Ashley's Mattress Marathon starts now. Save up to 75% off top mattress brands like Beautyrest, Serta, Purple, Tempur-Pedic, and more while supplies last. Happening now at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Make some noise for Heidi Klum. Plus, Jacob Lattimore makes a big entrance.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
The bitter cold brings us another alert day. Tomorrow I'll tell you how long the deep freeze will last.
And are you ready for ice cream for breakfast day?
A local business creates a sweet menu to celebrate, and we've got the scoop tomorrow from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Well, Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn today. She's at the Wisconsin Corn and Soy Expo. She'll be back on Monday, so here are your farm numbers. You've heard of Superman and Superwoman, but have you ever heard of super cows? Scientists in China say they have successfully cloned 3 super cows that can produce an unusually high amount of milk. It's been hailed as a breakthrough for China's dairy industry, hoping to reduce its independence on imported breeds. The 3 calves were cloned from highly productive cows originating from the Netherlands. Well, right now, severe winter weather is affecting millions of Americans from the south to the northeast. John Lawrence has the latest.
A vicious brew of freezing rain and sleet has pounded parts of the Midwest and southern United States, including Austin, Texas.
Trees are falling with all the ice.
More than 370,000 Texas customers were without power as of late Wednesday due to the weather. Road conditions were treacherous at times.
Oh, I'm stuck at traffic light. There was red and stop it, and after that I can't move.
In Des Moines, Iowa, some injuries were reported after a college bus carrying passengers flipped onto its side on Highway 163.
It looks like there was left the roadway briefly and then overcorrected, probably due to the slick shoulder, and then that's kind of what caused it.
This winter storm has also brought more than an inch of sleet to sections of Arkansas, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, and Oklahoma. And now the Northeast is preparing for a separate bone-chilling blast. The National Weather Service says parts of Maine and New Hampshire are forecast to have wind chills at least 50 degrees below zero.
The important fact is going to be remaining indoors this weekend, if at all possible. This is a great reason to stay home and maybe watch Netflix.
Much of the Northeast is under a wind chill watch or warning until Saturday afternoon. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And more than 2,000 flights in and out of around the U.S. were canceled yesterday, mostly due to the weather. That's according to the Flight Aware tracking site. An alert day for us. Bitter cold begins tonight. Greg's here with your first warn forecast.
Yeah, we got bitter cold. The good news is it's not going to last that long. That's the positive that the cold snap isn't. If you remember going past, January actually ended up fairly warm. This kind of tracks out all the way back to the end of January to then we hit our first cold snap, which was around the 27th. So that was about a few days. And now what we're projecting is to have at least another brief day tomorrow of cold conditions, bitterly conditions, and then we're going to start moderating. You see, beyond the next few days, all the way through this week and next week, we're going to be sitting above average, which means average right now is about 30, 31. So near freezing or a little bit even higher than that. So that's the positive that we just got to get through the next really 36 hours of cold conditions, and then we're going to be good. Overall, this is the satellite, and up here is not cloud cover. That's actually the temperature. The satellite's picking up how cold the temperature is at the surface, so it shows up as clouds. But you can see really high pressure sliding to the south, northwest wind flow. We got that front coming through, so it's a good setup to get cold conditions, especially when you have snow on the ground with that, and that's what we're going to be projecting. But the good news is we got some systems out to the west that are going to start changing things up a little bit pattern-wise. If we time out this evening, really the clouds that are lifted with that front kind of are passed to the south. The winds will be the story this evening and overnight. Not much cloud cover, clear skies will then allow the temperatures to plummet. This is going to be for the first taste of this warm front. It's going to come through, lift north. That'll be more tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. That means our temperatures will start actually rising, and then if you look towards Friday evening, Friday night, and Saturday, you see the southerly winds coming up ahead, and that's good news that we should start warming. The only drawback is we do have quite a bit of snow down here, so we could probably be a lot warmer if it wasn't going over such an extensive snowpack, but nevertheless, we are going to start warming up. Then we have another little clipper system coming through maybe Saturday, Sunday. Nothing to be much with this, but overall, the big story today and tonight is going to be the cold conditions. We'll see temperatures then fall off pretty quickly tonight. North winds will start kicking up this afternoon and probably be quite strong all the way until probably after midnight, and they'll start decreasing. By the time we get to 8 p.m., we'll start single digits. We'll probably be below zero closer to midnight areas to the west. Madison probably will take until after midnight. We'll start falling below zero, and then it's just how low it can go towards tomorrow morning. Mostly single digits below zero. Some of the areas up to the north, maybe even approaching the teens below zero. I think Madison, by the time you wake up, will probably be around 11 below. The only good take is the winds will probably keep the temperature up just a little bit, more or less. If it was calm, we might get into closer to the teens, even 20 below. Black River Falls, 14 below. A lot of areas out here could be around 14 to 15. That's the temperature. Now, with the winds, it's going to be a little bit different. We'll look at those things right now. Wind chills tonight will start dropping off fairly quickly. We'll be definitely below 20 below overnight, 30 below to the west. So if you're out and about tonight, definitely bundled up. If you're going outside, have a winter survival kit out there when you see temperatures this cold, 35 to 40 below. The good news is once you get past tomorrow morning, I think the wind chills won't be a problem as much. The afternoon, we'll see temperatures then start to climb up. The problem is as we go into the future, temperatures are not going to be that warm until we get to Saturday. Wind chill advisory for this is out until about noon for most locations. Once again, after that, we should see temperatures a little bit in the single digits. The winds will definitely calm down. Won't be as much as a problem. Notice a swing back to the up to the 30s by Saturday. Sunday looks cloudy. And then all next week, we're going to be mild conditions with some chances of rain or snow. No significant snow right now to be expected, but we will be mild, so we're going to kind of into that, as we saw, that sloppy conditions with snow on the ground, where you're going to be thawing during the day, freezing at night. So you still could see some slippery conditions, but definitely for the next 24 hours, bundle up. It will be barely cold, but the good news is we're going to get out of it for the start of the weekend.
And if you want to enjoy the snow, do it this weekend.
Like I said, it could be a little sloppy mess next week with all the temperatures warming up.
All right, Greg, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, we have a Groundhog Day recipe that is a winner beyond a shadow of a doubt. Any ideas to what it could be?
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
All you have to do is point.
Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Any first item removed, just $49.
Clearview Cabinetry starts as a kitchen built for right now and grows with you as life changes. It's flexible by design, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works at every stage. Save big money on Clearview Cabinetry. Countertops are the center of a home with elegant to everyday options and easy installation that you can do yourself. Save big money on custom craft countertops and start your next project today, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
What can Sono Bello do for you? How about a new shape?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
New confidence.
I can see a huge difference. Look at this.
New you.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
With Sono Bello, you can permanently remove stubborn fat in just one visit. Don't wait. The results I've seen achieved are truly outstanding.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and find out how you can get $250 off. Sono Bello uses Tri-Sculpt micro-laser liposuction to remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently for incredible transformations in just one visit.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Call 1-888-622-8360 or go to sonobello.com.
All you have to do is point.
Yes! 1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Any first item removed, just $49.
With today being Groundhog Day, I thought it'd be fun to share a recipe with you that would be fitting whether Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow or not. You see, if he did, that means we would have 6 more weeks of winter, and this dish would be perfect since it's so comforting. On the other hand, if he didn't see his shadow, that would mean that spring would come early, so all the springtime flavors in this dish would be even more timely. All we do is boil a bag of frozen ravioli according to the package directions. While that drains, we mix together some homemade or bottled pesto, a jar of chopped pimentos that we drained really well, some Parmesan cheese, and a generous amount of sliced pepperoni. Now we add the ravioli and give it a good toss. After it's coated, we dump it into a pie plate, sort of leveling it out and finishing it off with lots of mozzarella. All that's left to do is cover it, pop it in the oven until it's heated through and the cheese is melted. Does this ever look good or what? Like I said, it's warm and comforting, yet its fresh taste is all but teasing us that spring is right around the corner. The recipe for our ravioli pesto pie is online now and is ready and waiting to serve up no matter what our little groundhog friend predicted. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for a dish that's a winner beyond a shadow of a doubt. In other words, ooh, it's so good.
It's time to introduce you to our pet of the week. This is Chief. He's a rambunctious pup who loves to run and play, fetch and tug. Chief is also smart and enjoys puzzle toys. And when he's ready to wind down, this 1-year-old is a great cuddler. Chief is looking for a home without other pets and an active family who'll take him on runs and fun adventures. Next month, join Dane County Humane Society for Toto's Gala. It'll be held in person at Monona Terrace Friday, March 24th. Enjoy puppy snuggles, playful kittens, cocktails, dinner, and dancing. Reserve your spot now at giveshelter.org/Toto. Cauliflower, the catch, featured last week, and Nina and Bentley, the bonded dogs featured 2 weeks ago, are all still available for adoption. To go to giveshelter.org to check it all out. Here's Greg now, one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we got the alert day in effect for tonight and tomorrow. Basically, bitterly cold temperatures. We'll have 10 below, 30 below wind chills. Cold tomorrow with single digits, but good news is 30s return for Saturday and Sunday.
All right, just one day.
Just one day.
All right, Greg, thank you. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon. Enjoy the sunshine.